Hey survivors, ZedFiles here. In this video, I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know about the new Ark Genesis tech tier creature, the Astrocetus, also known as the space whale. First, I'll be covering its taming process, second, its speed, third, its health and weight, fourth, its attacks and weapons, and fifth, bonus things that it can do. You'll find Astrocetuses floating around all over the lunar biome. To tame one, you'll need a tech skiff, a cannon with around 10 cannonballs, and around 40 extraordinary kibble. The tech skiff is a techgram learnt by killing the master controller boss, Genesis's final boss, so the space whale is a super late game tame. Once you've found the Astrocetus you want to tame, put the cannon at the front of your tech skiff, put in a cannonball, line yourself up with the whale's head, and fire. Then keep repeating this process over and over until it's knocked out. It won't take too many cannonballs to knock it out, since they don't have that much torpor. Once it's knocked out, put some extraordinary kibble into its inventory and wait for it to tame. Now you have yourself a space whale. To ride it, you'll need to craft its saddle, which is a techgram. So, now that you're riding your space whale, you would have realized that it's pretty slow. At its normal speed, it's slower than a Quetzal, but it can build up a little momentum over time when floating in the same direction. With this momentum, it is slightly faster than a Quetzal, but it's still pretty slow. Now for the space whale stats. At level 1 base tame stats, space whale has 2380 health and 2000 weight. At level 297 max tame stats, with 37 wild and 30 tame points pumped into health, and 32 wild and 25 tame points pumped into weight, the space whale has over 38,000 health and over 7,000 weight. Even though the space whale has this much health, it is a slow massive target, and its main enemies, turrets, which I'll get back to later on, will still be able to shred through it quite easily. Next, the space whale's attacks, which I'll be covering at its level 1 base tame stats. Its first attack is its bite. This does 48 damage and attacks 0.35 times per second, so its DPS, damage per second, is only 16.8. This is so horrible that it's close to a dialer's DPS. Its second attack is its tail whip. This does 126 damage and attacks 0.2 times per second, so its DPS is 25.2. This is slightly better than its bite attack, but still not that good. Now let's get into the actual good attacks. The space whale's third attack is its hyperdrive. This teleports it and other creatures around it forward a little bit. Using the hyperdrive is quite a bit faster than just floating around. But another use it has is in PvP. It can teleport itself and allies past enemy walls. The hyperdrive can be used every 4 seconds, and every time it's used, it also uses some of its cosmic power, which slowly recharges itself over time. The space whale's fourth attack, which is more of a weapon built into its saddle, is the carpet bomb. To use this attack, you have to be right above your target. This attack drops bombs, and it can drop them from insane heights. The bombs have a massive area effect and deal 275 damage per bomb. And the space whale's melee damage does affect them, so if you pump tons of levels into melee, they can do thousands of damage per bomb. You can charge up to 8 bombs at a time, and each one takes 20 seconds to charge. So if you're charging 8 bombs at once, it will take 160 seconds. The space whale needs ambergris in order to charge these bombs, which can be found in the lunar biome rocks. They are best harvested with a mining drill. Once you've loaded up some bombs, you can drop them at a rate of 1 per second. So in 8 seconds, you can drop 8 bombs, dealing 2,200 total damage, just at level 1. At higher levels, you can deal tens of thousands of damage in just 8 seconds. The DPS of this attack at level 1 is 275, but after 8 bomb drops, you'll have to wait a long time in order to reload new ones. The space whale's fifth and final attack, which is also a weapon built into its saddle, is the Plasma Blast. To use the Plasma Blast, you need to be mounted in one of the 3 turrets. There's the top turret, the front turret, and the rear turret. In a raid, you'd have your teammates mounted in these. These do pretty good damage to creatures, doing 153 damage per projectile and 261 with headshots, and attacking 2.5 times per second. So its DPS can be from 382.5 to 652.5. This is only from one turret. If all 3 turrets are shooting at the same target, they can do 3 times the amount, or they could also shoot at 3 different targets at the same time. Syntac cannot be affected by leveling up the rail's melee damage, since it comes from the saddle. The rail only powers this attack, so its DPSs won't be able to get higher than this at high levels, but since the carpet bomb can, doing thousands of damage per second at high levels, the carpet bomb is better at killing off creatures. But the plasma blasts aren't made for damaging creatures, they're made for destructing structures. They can demolish enemy structures of any material in seconds, and even do increased amounts of damage to tech structures. Unfortunately, the range on this attack isn't that good. It's around the same as enemy turrets, so around 30 foundations. This means enemy turrets will be able to shoot the space rail in a raid, and since the space rail doesn't have that much health or armor, it will quickly die in a raid without a tank soaking the turrets for it. And the ammo required for this attack is Element. The space rail is an amazing raid creature. Its carpet bomb attack can easily wipe out creatures, and its plasma blast can easily wipe out structures. So next I'll be covering bonus things that the space rail can and cannot do. At the front of the space rail saddle, you can build a little. Unlike all other flyers, the space rail can go into the water and also use its attacks there. But even though it's a rail, it swims even slower in the water than it floats in the air. The space rail doesn't allow rider weaponry, doesn't seem to be able to breed, but it can be mate boosted. So, now that I've shown you everything you need to know about the space rail, I'll give a quick summary. The space rail is a slow glass cannon, an extremely powerful glass cannon, a must for tech tier PvP. It doesn't have a great defense to size and speed ratio, but it has 3 amazing attacks: the hyperdrive for teleporting around, the carpet bomb for eliminating creatures, and the plasma blast for demolishing enemy structures. For PvE, maybe it would be useful for fighting against the beta and alpha master controller bosses, I'm just guessing. And it is also good at transporting large amounts of resources around the lunar biome, due to its massive weight and being faster than a Quetzal. Well, we have now reached the end of this video. If you enjoyed or found it helpful, don't forget to give it a like, and also make sure to be subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss any future Ark Genesis videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.